Let's talk about sex, shall we? Oh, I know I got y'all attention now. But seriously, let's talk about it. I saw a video on Instagram and I really wanted to remix it, but it has aggressive language, cussing in it, and I don't like to share any vulgar language on my platforms, any platform that I'm on. So I'm going to just give you an overview of the video. The video was someone basically saying that they were a virgin when they got married and then they got finessed in the marriage and they ended up having to get a divorce. So the point was like, yeah, I did the thing that they said to do and it didn't work out. And I wanted to add some context to that. And mind you, this message is not for people that think that premarital sex is the thing to do and they think it's cool and they do it every day and they're fine with it and they have no conscience about it and they don't feel bad about it. This video is for people that want to wait until marriage, virgin or not. They want to wait until marriage and they kind of don't feel like it's possible, or they kind of don't feel like there's a real benefit to it or that they would benefit from it. Let me share my story. Cliff is my second husband, right? I married for the first time in 2016. Got divorced in 2017. I'll get to that in a minute. Got married in 2016. I was 29 and a half. I like to add that half because, baby, when you waiting, not just waiting, but you waiting, I was a virgin on my wedding day, right? The marriage didn't go well at all, child. It was all kinds of not great. And I ended up asking my then husband for a divorce. And we got divorced. We had been married just shy of 2 years when the divorce was finalized. So I always had the plan to hold myself and wait until I remarried to have sex. There was no question that was what I was going to do because, frankly, sex outside of marriage just repulses me. The idea of me giving my vagina to a man that I am not married to repulses me. I could never imagine myself having sex with someone I wasn't married to. So I said, well, however long I gotta wait. By the time Cliff and I got married, I had been divorced 3.5 years, okay? And of course, there's always this thing when someone says they're going to wait, especially if they make a big deal about it like I did. I made a big deal about it because I was proud. Because in a culture where overly sexualized behavior was normalized and everybody was bumping and humping and doing all the stuff and all the things, and where women were valued by how much oral sex they can give and how much coochie they can give away, I stood up and said, hey, I'm doing this in the face of this culture. So yeah, I talked about it and I was proud of it. And if anybody gave me gripe about it, I let them know that they did not run me and that I was going to keep doing what I was going to do, right? Well, after my divorce, I know people were kind of, she's going to be one of those girls that waits until marriage and then they get a divorce and then they go buck wild. They go out to the club. They go to all the clubs. They kiss all the boys. They do all the things. And that wasn't me, because it was not just, and me deciding to stay a virgin until marriage was not even a religious decision. It was a decision I made when I was 4 years old. When I found out that my biological father was married at the time of my conception, he wasn't married to my mother. I knew at that point what sex was, and I had an idea that was something that A, adults did, and B, something that's typically done within marriage. So I decided at the age of 4 that I was going to remain a virgin until I got married. Now, over time, it grew into a religious decision after I came to know Christ shortly before I turned 15 years old. But mind you, I lived all those years before I got saved feeling that way. My religious views just happened to solidify what I had already had decided in my mind I was going to do with my body, right? So I dated several men since my divorce and was close to marrying a couple of them. And never once did I think, well, let me go ahead and just, we're going to get married anyway. So I know some people think that. But I just couldn't, and like I said, this video, if you're one of those people that thinks that there's nothing wrong with premarital sex, and you think that premarital sex, the whole idea of it being wrong is this religious construct that I don't have to follow because I'm not religious. So I'm not talking to you. You just eavesdropping on the conversation I'm having with these other people. These people that say, hey, I'm not a virgin anymore, but I know my body is still valuable. I know that me giving my body to someone still matters. And it doesn't matter if you slept with one person or 10 people. You can always decide the next person that I lay down with is going to be my spouse. Okay? Cliff and I had a fairly short courtship. We met in November of 2020. We got married in May of 2021. Am I physically attracted to my husband? Heck yeah. He's my type. Okay. Very handsome fellow. Loves the Lord. He's intelligent. He's smart. He's funny, honest, just all the things that I wanted in a husband. He has some nice legs. Don't be looking at my husband's leg, but when he put on them shorts, I be looking, okay? That's one of my favorite parts of him, okay? Is his thighs. And I saw them while we were recording. He came to my apartment one day with shorts on. I wasn't ready, because any other time I had seen him, he had on pants. So he comes to my apartment with shorts on, and he sits down and we're talking, and I glance and I see his thigh, and I was like, oh, I wasn't a leg person until I saw his legs. And yes, my lower downstairs apartment was, like, hey, what's going on with you? But Cliff and I had the conversation even before we met in person. I asked him, what are your views on premarital sex? And he told me, a real man can wait. So I said, well, okay. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Mind you, he wasn't a virgin either. So neither one of us were virgins when we started courting, when we got married. And the only time we ever had sexual activity was after our wedding, right? For those of you that are wondering if it's possible, I'm telling you it's possible. I have no regrets at all about waiting. I don't even have regret about my previous marriage, because I did everything with a pure heart. It didn't work out. It was not healthy for me. I had to get out, and I got out. But I don't have regret about waiting, because that was for me. That had more to do with me than it had to do with anybody that I ever could have had sex with or ever could have married. So if you're in a situation where you have slept with a few people that you haven't been married to, you slept with 10, 15, 20, 30, 100 people, and all of a sudden you decide, hey, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. Even if I have been doing it, I don't have to do it. If you feel that way, I want to encourage you and let you know that it's possible. Cliff and I didn't lose any time. The time that we were courting and we were not having sex, it was like compared to the rest of our lives together. So it's entirely possible, whether you're male or female, whether you're younger or older. Don't feel pigeonholed to your current circumstances and what you're currently doing. You can always change your mind. Okay? So I just wanted to, because, it's the weekend. People do enough on the weekdays. But, on the weekend, people get they like to party, Just letting you know, you don't have to do that. You can still value yourself enough to wait if you want to. Now, if you don't want to, like I said, I'm not talking to you. But if you do, I'm letting you know it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait because, hey, I'm not going to give no details. I'm not going to give no details. I'm just going to say, look at my face. It was worth the wait. Okay? Shout out to my man. Shout out to my husband.